one response from one of the group members is she's fed up, absolutely fed up with, she doesn't want to go back to that lot. Anybody else feel like that? Man, there's a Mexican wave going around the room, eh? As scared as you're just speaking to families now, families in panic, as concerned as you are, as fearful is how they are. It's you're both in the same boat. Everybody's in the same boat. Everybody's in the same boat. The one young lady actually now for the first time taking ownership, maybe for the first time, taking ownership. It's actually okay to be fed up with that crowd of idiots back there. And I don't even know who they are. She's saying all of a sudden she's starting to realise that she doesn't want to go home. But I think it's fair to say within you there's a distorted sense of loyalty towards them. You would rather protect them and stay sick than be honest and get well. Well, you choose. It's your choice. When we go home, the world hasn't changed. So what we have to do is we have to make sure that we deal with it differently. That we just don't respond to it the way we used to. And I'm talking to people I'm speaking now in our immediate context to South Africans living in South Africa whose families don't live a million miles away. And my honest opinion is some of you need to really go somewhere else for a while and stay right out of the area. And you really need some downtime, some you time. Because you can do it. You will stay as clean and sober as you are honest. Even when that honesty is going to maybe upset one or two people. And it's gonna upset one or two people there. And I don't mean just in a revenge sense. Well, now you know how I feel. That's kind of the deepest cry of all our hearts. Now, when we reduce our loved ones to tears, and something within us says, "Yeah, well, now you know how I feel." They could have learned how you felt if you just told them. It doesn't have to be a Titanic. It doesn't have to be a Titanic clash. And just for the record, the Titanic didn't hit the iceberg. The Titanic only kissed the iceberg. It bounced off the iceberg. And on the surface, everything was beautiful, everything was regal, everything was royal, everything was exactly as it should be on the surface. But just below the surface, where the pressure hit, at that point of contact, at that point of conflict, below the surface where nobody could see, it fell apart. Absolutely fell apart. And those people who died on the Titanic, they're still dead, eh? When we send a young lady or a young guy home from Bethesda back to their homes, back to their home countries and cultures and contexts, I try to maybe just inject a little warning, ice ahead. Does that make sense? Ice ahead. Because it wasn't the iceberg that sank the Titanic. They were ill-equipped for the iceberg. They were trying to go too far forward too quickly. A whole gamut of reasons, excuses, alibis and wherefores. Ice ahead. If you could adopt that little ice ahead into when you're going in the workplace, it's a guaranteed ice ahead. When your mother-in-law's coming round, your father-in-law's coming round, your whatever it is, your next door neighbour's popping in, ice ahead. Relational interactions, very possibly, ice ahead. Okay? But now you know, now I'm sounding the foghorn. So now you know. So if you go home now, if you go home this afternoon and you're back on the bottle by Sunday because A, B and C didn't fall in line, Well, you can't say you won't. Ice ahead. Beth Rafa guys down in Cape Town. You're going to church on Sunday? Ice ahead. You're going to cell group tonight? You're going to youth group tonight? Ice ahead. You've got your parents coming down at the weekend? Ice ahead. You've got your wife, you've got your children coming. Your daughter's going to sit on your knee? Ice ahead. Best thing you can do with an iceberg is tell everybody about it. Welcome to planet Earth. Okay, it's now 10:35. We've got a week. Today can begin again now. Let's start today again. All right. Let's stop yet. Let's turn 9:30 into yesterday. It's now 25 to 10. Let's start again. We're going into a whole new day as from now. Ice ahead. Keep saying it, keep saying it, keep saying it until your natural inbuilt psychological responses bring it on. I'll cope with it. I'll be all right. It's going to be okay. You can do it. You can actually do it. There's a dynamic at play that you cannot change. You will not come up against anything you can't cope with. There's nothing in your life today going to happen to you that you can't cope with. Nothing. There's nothing out there. There's nobody that you could bring the French Foreign Legion if you want. They cannot make you relapse. There's nothing they can say or do that you're not prepared for, that you're up to. There's nothing going to take place that you can't get through. You'll just get through it. It's going to hurt. The secret is not to take on the hurt and then go on hurt. Using, boozing, cruising and losing is out. Over. C'est fini pour toi. It's done and dusted, eh? Clar, clar. Anything else is bull dust. Anything else is an excuse. Oh, my goldfish died. Oh, my mom died. Oh, my mom wouldn't die. Or whatever it is. There's nothing in front of you today that you can't get through. Craig, happy birthday for yesterday, brother. How old? Right, I'm away, guys. Thanks for your time today.